All right, everyone, get those walking shoes ready because today we're diving into a fitness trend that might have you picturing, well, soldiers trekking through the mud with those massive backpacks.
And you wouldn't be entirely wrong.
We're exploring rucking, but hold on. Before you click away thinking this is some hardcore military training, let me tell you, it's surprisingly simple.
Yeah.
And guess what? It's rooted in ancient history. And who knows, it might just be that perfect workout you've been searching for. What do you think? Ready to shoulder the metaphorical weight of this deep dive?
I'm ready to carry the weight if you are.
All right, then. We've got this fascinating article here. It's got insights from all sorts of experts. And it has a retired Army Green Beret who's really passionate about bringing rucking to, well, everyone.
Interesting.
Yeah. By the end of this deep dive, you'll know if strapping on a weighted backpack is your ticket to better health and why this seemingly intense activity, I mean, it's got ruck in the name, right? Why it's making waves in the fitness world. So let's unpack this whole rucking thing. What are we talking about here? Help me out.
At its core, rucking is, well, it's basically just walking with weight, right?
Okay.
No need for sprinting, no complicated routines. It's going back to basics. It's tapping into something our ancestors did, well, for millennia, really.
You mean like our hunter-gatherer ancestors,
Yeah.
the ones who didn't exactly have, fancy gyms or fitness trackers?
Exactly. They carried what they needed to survive, right?
Well, right.
And those natural movements, those are what helped them thrive.
And it makes you think, right? In our modern world where we're, glued to chairs and screens all day,
All day.
could returning to such a fundamental movement be like the key to combating the downsides of our sedentary lifestyles?
It's a fascinating thought, isn't it?
It really is. So it's not just a workout then. It's almost like reconnecting with a more, primal way of moving our bodies.
Precisely. And this is where it gets really fascinating, especially from a fitness perspective. We're seeing this shift away from, the complicated machines, the isolation exercises, back to functional movements, the kinds of movements our bodies are actually designed for.
Which is where rucking comes in.
Absolutely. Rucking is harnessing that natural movement, that carrying, and turning it into this structured, intentional workout.
Speaking of structure, this retired Green Beret we mentioned earlier, he had this really interesting way of describing rucking. He called it cardio for people who hate cardio.
Chuckles, yeah.
I mean, I can already feel some of you nodding along to that one, right? But it sounds like it's got to be more than just a way to get your heart rate up.
Oh, absolutely. And that's where we really start to delve into the, I guess you could say, the deeper benefits. The article really highlights how rucking, while incredibly simple, it offers this unique combination of cardio and strength training. So you're building endurance while also strengthening key muscle groups.
Okay, so we're strengthening key muscle groups. What are we talking about here? And how is it different from, say, hitting the treadmill? Okay, so we're strengthening key muscle groups. What are we talking about here? And how is it different from, say, hitting the treadmill?
When we look at the health benefits, one of the really compelling aspects of rucking is its focus on full body strength, particularly the core, back, and legs.
And those are areas that are often neglected, right? Especially for, those of us who spend a lot of time sitting.
Exactly. Those are crucial stabilizing muscles, essential for good posture, balance, even preventing those aches and pains we tend to, accumulate as we get older.
Oh, tell me about it. And what about the impact? You mentioned it's low impact, so easier on the joints than running, for example.
Absolutely. Rucking lets you build strength and endurance without putting too much stress on your joints. Makes it a great option, really, for a wide range of fitness levels.
This is making me rethink my whole workout routine. So let's say I'm convinced I want to give this rucking thing a try. What's the first step?
Well, the Green Beret we mentioned, he recommends starting with a weight that feels challenging but manageable, somewhere between 10 and 30 pounds. You don't want to overload yourself right away.
Start slow, gradually increase.
That makes sense.
Exactly. And here's the best part. You can integrate rucking into your everyday life.
Oh, really?
Walk the dog, run errands, even your commute to work. It all becomes an opportunity to ruck.
So instead of squeezing in a gym session,
Yeah.
I can just turn those everyday activities into these mini workouts. I like it.
Yeah.
But what about safety? We are still talking about carrying extra weight here.
That's a great point, and it's something the celebrity trainer we read about also emphasized. While rucking is generally safe and accessible, like any exercise, you have to do it right.
So what should we keep in mind?
Proper form is crucial. Make sure you're not all hunched over under the weight, right? Keep your back straight, shoulders relaxed.
Got it. Good posture is key.
Yes. And make sure you distribute that weight evenly in the backpack. You don't want it all pulling on one side.
Okay, what about footwear? Is that something to consider? Absolutely. Invest in good supportive footwear. It helps with shock absorption and prevents discomfort or even injuries.
So many good points. Anything else we should be thinking about before we lace up those supportive shoes and embark on our rucking journey?
One last thing, and then this is really important for older adults or anyone with, pre-existing health conditions. It's always a good idea to check in with your doctor before you start any new exercise routine.
Always good advice. Safety first. So we've gone from ancient hunters to modern workouts. We've explored the history, the benefits, even the practicalities of rucking. What stands out to you about all of this? It really strikes me. It seems like rucking, well, it connects to something, I don't know, deeper than just physical
Oh,
fitness.
absolutely. It's not just about building a stronger body. It's also about tapping into this mental and even historical strength.
It's like by carrying that weight, we're somehow connecting with, the resilience of our ancestors, the hunter-gatherers, the soldiers throughout time, people who carried like real burdens.
That's a really interesting way to put it. Historically, carrying burdens, well, it wasn't always viewed negatively.
Right.
Think about the weight of responsibility that soldiers carry, or the shared burdens within communities that work together. There's this sense of purpose, even honor, associated with carrying weight.
So it's not just about the physical weight on our backs, but also I don't know, the metaphorical weight we carry in our lives too.
Exactly, and rucking, in a way, allows us to embrace both. Right? It's this tangible way to challenge ourselves physically, while also, I don't know, tapping into that deeper well of resilience.
Almost like it provides a sense of grounding, like connecting with something larger than ourselves.
Precisely. And in a world that often feels, increasingly chaotic and disconnected, that connection, well, it can be incredibly powerful.
It really makes you think, huh, we started off talking about a simple workout, and now we're exploring these profound ideas of resilience, purpose, connection.
It's amazing, isn't it, how a simple act, like just walking with weight, can unearth such depth. I guess that's the beauty of these deep dives, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. And on that note, we've reached the end of our rucking exploration. We unpacked the history, the benefits, the practicalities, even uncovered some, I don't know, some unexpected philosophical layers.
It's been quite the journey.
It really has. We learned how rucking can benefit our bodies and minds, connect us to our past, and maybe even help us navigate the challenges of modern life.
All by just strapping on a weighted backpack and going for a walk.
Who knew, right? So if you're looking for a workout that's both physically and mentally engaging, one that's got a surprising amount of depth, rucking, well, it might just be worth exploring.
And who knows, you might even find yourself connecting with something much larger than yourself along the way.
Now that's something to ponder. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those mental gears turning.